All right, business intelligence part 2, underlying competencies. As in any business analysis discipline, the business analyst requires the fundamental communication and analytical competencies to be effective in liaising with both business stakeholders and technical solution providers. Our goal is literally a mediator. In the business intelligence discipline, this coordination, one second. Yes, so in the business intelligence discipline, this coordination of business information requirements with business intelligence system outcomes can be further enhanced by business analyst specific competencies in business data function. Like they're just highlighting like what you need to be like, I don't know. Oh, part 1, part 2. All right, next time, the part 1 would stop at business scope and part 2 would start with the methodologies, right? All right. So you need to be competent in business process, effective, including KPIs and metrics, decision modeling, data analytics techniques, including basic statistics, data profiling, data warehouse, business intelligence, logical and physical data models, business intelligence reporting tools, ETL, extract, transform, load, best practices, competencies, right? Last but not least, impact on knowledge areas. This section explains how specific business analysis practices within business intelligence are mapped to business analysis tasks and practices as defined by the guide. This section describes how each knowledge area is applied or modified to the business intelligence discipline. Each knowledge area lists techniques relevant to business intelligence perspectives. Techniques used in the discipline of business intelligence do not deviate from to any great extent from BABOK guide. The techniques are found in the technique chapter BABOK guide. It's not intended to be exhaustive list, blah, 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 rather to highlight the types of techniques in which the business analysts are performing the tasks while knowledge area, yeah. So business analysis, planning, and monitoring. A business intelligence initiative may require establishing an underlying data infrastructure to support the solution, or it might be an enhancement based on the infrastructure of an existing solution. Scope modeling is frequently used to differentiate between these alternatives and plan the relevant business analysis activity accordingly. The business intelligence paradigm or information delivery might be a new unfamiliar approach for business stakeholders and for business analysts themselves. In planning an initiative, the business analyst considers how experienced the stakeholders in the experience, like we consider how experienced the stakeholder are in expressing their information and communication. The term elicit is a CIA thing, by the way. To elicit something from somebody is not to ask them, is to extract it from them. How skilled is the business analyst in interpreting those requirements into detailed specifications for business intelligence technical specialists? Blah, 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 blah. You need to be better at your job because people are not really like, aware of themselves. I really mean it, man. Like, life changes when you realize that all you have to do is pay attention. Business intelligence solutions typically provide frameworks, tools, and techniques that can assist the requirement definition of solution modeling, the level of stakeholders, business analyst expertise, and these can have an impact on the planned approach. When assessing stakeholder attitudes towards the business intelligence initiative, the business analyst should be aware the enterprise-wide business intelligence solution might not provide direct value to some operation stakeholders, but will deliver it elsewhere in the organization. So like a solution is not like, oh, okay, man, I don't know, I need stitches, I go and I stitch myself. No, their solution is a lot more like I take this medication, this gets better, and then eventually my fever goes down, right? A business intelligence solution, like, value goes beyond short-term gains or realizations or benefits. A business intelligence solution that integrates multiple data sources typically engages by stakeholders with overlapping information requirements. Business analysts prepare for the analysis and synthesis of individual requirements into a set that is complete and cohesive without conflict redundancies. Some of the techniques we're going to be using is acceptance criteria and evaluation criteria, balanced scorecard, brainstorming, decision analysis, roles, permissions matrix, root cause analysis. We talked about all of these. Risk analysis and management, scope modeling, stakeholder list. Like this book is supposed to be a document for you to return to. Item tracking, metrics. So anytime you're analyzing something, use this book, go back to it. Write through the details, get better at it, figure things out, right? Elicitation and collaboration, cross-functional. Wait, the first one was what? Business planning and monitoring. Cross-functional nature of business intelligence typically requires business analysts to employ specialized documentation tools and techniques to elicit particular types of requirements and from stakeholders. Both businesses and technical individual stakeholders may not possess partial knowledge and expertise regarding the business decisions that need support, the data element that support those business decisions, the data sourcing, transformation, and integration rules, and presentation of the required information. Interviews with the individual stakeholder identify the information and analytics insight required to support their decision-making. Workshops with stakeholders from across different functional areas of the business can help detect common overlapping information requirements that would be better met with an integrated solution. Data models and data dictionaries provide definitions of the structure and business rules of existing systems data. The business analyst assesses available documentation to identify incompleteness of a model and inconsistencies between models. Like, what we're doing is always kind of like, making sure. That's it. Process models that are extended to exclude data artifacts to help identify the data source required at decision point. Decisions models specify the data analytics requirements and business rules for decisions. Commercial off-the-shelf package of business intelligence functionality can provide the business analyst with a set of highly effective prototyping tools to elicit and clarify stakeholder information and communication requirements. Some of the techniques is brainstorming, tracking, observation, prototyping, workshop, stakeholders, glossary, function decomposition, interface analysis, interviews, all that kind of stuff. What about the requirements lifecycle? Well, architectural nature of the business intelligence discipline requires establishing the infrastructure capabilities in the solution. And this includes structural dependencies within the solution, particularly where delivery is placed. So a business analyst says, okay, use this until this season is done, or use this until this is done, or blah, 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 blah. And when you prioritize the effective prioritization of the business needs, it is often possible to achieve efficiencies by implementing related requirements at the same time. What about strategy analysis? Business analysts can use high-level conceptual data models to map the current state of corporate information, to identify information silos, to assess their related problems and opportunities. Organizational modeling can be used to evaluate any current data management infrastructure, such as metadata management and data governance. In defining the future state strategy, business analysts can use high-level models to map the architecture of data storage and for coverage conveyance and transformation. Logical data models provide a static view of the solution architecture, representing the information portals that connect the sourcing of operational data inputs and the delivery of the business information outputs. Logical data models allow us to kind of like have security with this goes in, this goes out. Are commonly used to map the dynamic aspects of the solution data in motion and to identify other architectural constructs, such as latency and accessibility. Are useful for defining how relevant business decisions are made and where and how data analytics can be effectively used to meet these needs. And physical data models show the implementation environment, including the data warehouse and the data marts. So like, you need logical models, data flow diagrams, which is also a model, decision model, and how you take decisions, and physical data models. An extensible architecture provided by business intelligence solutions can support incremental implementation across different functional areas and businesses. Business analysts can define change strategy options based on business needs and priorities, impact on the information and usability of existing infrastructure components. What are the techniques? Backlog management, benchmarking, brainstorming, rules, business rules analysis, data flow diagrams, data modeling, decision analysis, blah, 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 document analysis, estimation, focus groups, all of that, because you're eliciting and you're creating and you're going all the way from like collecting data to designing the data flow to all the way to decision making and ultimately like physical model, as in like put this here and put this there. When modeling and specifying back data office capture and storage requirements, business analysts use specific data-oriented modeling techniques. Yeah? All right? Such as data modeling, data dictionary, decision modeling, business rules, and analysis. Models of an existing system's data help to define data availability and system redundancies, inconsistencies, and data quality issues. Where existing system documentation is non-existent or out of date, reverse engineering modeling can be a substantial component of work and frequently requires collaboration with technical experts, such as database administrators and application programmers. A future data model demonstrates how the structured information is generically structured in the proposed solution. An overall transformation process is commonly used using data flow diagrams to illustrate the management of latency and accessibility requirements in the solution. Business analysts define specific rules, business rules for data integrity, checking and data transformation. For modeling and specifying front office information outputs, business analysts analyze existing reports to determine if they are candidates to be replaced or repaired with business intelligence outputs. Use business intelligence capabilities such as ad hoc query. Like, okay, so here for modeling and specific front office information outputs, business analysts analyze existing reports to determine. We're repeating each other very much so. That's why it kind of feels like, what the fuck, why am I doing this? Just tell us. But like, in a way, they're telling us in their language. You use business intelligence capabilities such as ad hoc queries, data mining, and complex event processing to identify and specify the content and format of new business intelligence outputs. Business analysts are involved in assessing the capability of proposed solution, typically a commercial off-the-shelf software package, in respect to specified requirements. In the software intelligence context, these include functional requirements such as self-serve facilities, data analytic tools, data presentation tools, drill-down capabilities, and non-functional requirements related to issue such as data quality, data latency, and query performance. These are the techniques between acceptance and evaluation criteria, all the way to scope modeling, state modeling, non-functional requirements. Oof, that's a fuck ton, bro. Like literally. Out of the 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's 24. And a common enterprise limitation with the introduction of business intelligence solution is underutilization of the information research and analytic functionality of that solution provides. Stakeholders who are not familiar with true capabilities of business intelligence might focus on simply replacing or repairing existing information outputs. Business analysts explore and evaluate opportunities for additional value and enable a business intelligence solution. So when you're evaluating a solution, you kind of like, I don't know, it's underutilization or information resource analytic functionality that the solution provides. Stakeholders who are not familiar with the capabilities of business intelligence might focus on simply replacing or repairing existing information outputs. It's just saying here, like, either like fix solution evaluation, you can fix something about the solution or you can replace it, and everything in between. And point 8 is all the guide techniques. Remember here, man, with this one, requirements analysis and divine definition, we use 24 of the 50 fucking techniques that are mentioned in this book. And after this is the information technology perspective. Woohoo! All right, that's part 2.